What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Element 305. I'm your host, Trone,
This your co-host Gary.
and today we're here to talk about my favorite team, your favorite team, our favorite team, the Miami Heat, and we back off All Star break. We fresh off the W against New Orleans. But before we get into that, we're just gonna go back a little bit since we didn't have an episode last week for All Star break. But coming into the game against the Pelicans, we had two back-to-back wins against Milwaukee and Philly, and I think the NBA they tried to violate us because they had us go up against Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly. So they was trying to set us up. And then on top of that, we came off the injuries with Josh Richardson and Terry Rozier in that Boston game. So we had to go into those next two games, all messed up and all injured and everything. But we came out with the W's. But did you notice anything about those games that got us back on the right track? Because in all honesty too, that Boston game, we were close to winning that game too. We still had the injuries that happened at the last ones. I don't think Jimmy played in that game, but I don't remember. But yeah, did you notice anything just in either those three games or those two games that we got the W's on?
I ain't really noticed anything different
Hmm.
from like the previous games, other than the fact that they're actually trying on defense now.
Yeah.
The effort is there. Like, is it after that meeting?
Hmm.
I don't know what was said. I don't know what happened in that meeting, but whatever they said stuck because they've been
Facts.
playing hard, super hard ever since, and you know, and they've been playing as the team that we know and love.
Right. Nah, I completely agree with you. That film session definitely did something because clearly the team is like they're starting to play like a team. Honestly, they're starting to play like they actually like each other, which is something that we definitely want to see. So, and we're about to get into this New Orleans game that just happened, but I want to go back to the Boston game where um, where Jalen Brown, Duncan's arm got caught up in Jalen Brown arms, and Jalen Brown like kind of it was a dirty move, like it was unnecessary for him to do. And when that happened, people were complaining about Bam not being a good captain or like the team not having Duncan's back and everything. So fast forward to this Pelicans game where things got a little dicey. Which obviously, we won that Pelicans game, which was perfect. Um, it was a really good game. It was a hard fought game. The Pelicans, they were coming off a back to back, but they smacked Houston in their last game. So I don't even think most of their starters played. But coming into that game, obviously we're going up against Zion, who we know what Zion brings to the table, and they got that 4-5 lineup with I think it's Zion and Valanciunas. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously they had the size advantage against us, but we probably used some common sense, and we had Nikola Jovic playing in the game too, where he can help us, as far as the size is concerned, because he's 6'10", like he should be playing next to Bam every game. But we came into the game, we were leading, pretty big. Like Tyler was cooking in like the first quarter, first and second quarter. Um, but then I know he ended up getting hurt, so hopefully, it's nothing too serious. But knowing the Heat, Tyler will be out
Yeah.
for a few weeks. You probably won't see him till March 23rd or something like that. I don't even know if we got a game that night. But yeah, so back to my Boston point where people were complaining about Bam and like pretty much the team, not really stepping up for Duncan. So in this Pelicans game, Zion, he went up for a shot. Kevin Love kind of wrapped him up, hard foul, nothing crazy. And then some dude named Marshall, I forgot his first name, but dude named Marshall went pushing Kevin Love out the way. So Jimmy got in his face like, "Oh, what's up?" Then he kind of choked Jimmy,
Yeah.
which was crazy. Like wrapped his head around Jimmy's neck. But the whole and then Alvarado and Thomas Bryant ended up like throwing hands, like they actually was throwing hands at each other.
Yeah,
So
like, that was mad random.
yeah, like I didn't even know what happened. Like I'm watching and I'm like, okay, everything's cooling down. Then it just started escalating again.
Yeah.
But seeing that and then seeing how we ended the game, Jimmy ended up getting ejected. Thomas Bryant ended up getting ejected, but he wasn't playing anyway. And Alvarado and the Marshall dude, they ended up getting ejected. But from that moment, it's like things switched for the Heat. Bam became like your number one option, which is something that we kind of always expect to happen. But Bam became your number one option, started hitting shots, started getting rebounds, started like playing like a playing like a big man. Um, and for me, obviously, like you don't want to see anybody get ejected, you don't want to see anybody get suspended or anything. But it is good to see that the team actually like has each other's back and they were willing to live with the consequences. And then they showed like, oh, okay, well, we lost our best player tonight. Nah, let's still go out here and get that dub. So what like while you were watching the game, obviously, because we was texting a little bit during it, but when you were watching the game, like it was there anything that stood out to you or like anything that you um noticed or anything that you seen that continued? Because Jimmy didn't even play those last two games against Milwaukee and Philly. So just have inserting him back into the lineup, like what? Because tonight's game, like with pretty much a good amount of the team healthy, minus Rozier and Jay Rich, um, tonight it seemed different. Like they seemed like they were clicking way more than previous games. Before the Milwaukee and before the Boston and before that Sixers series.
Yeah, I think like early on in the game, like everybody was hitting their shots, so
Hmm.
that's a plus. And Jimmy was playing his game. He was drawing
Yep.
fouls. He was like driving in, drawing people, kicking out.
Hmm.
Um, and then when the fight started between Jimmy and Marshall, I'm like, okay, like they had the scuffle going on or whatever.
Yep.
Um, and then I'm like that's the type I'm like in my head I'm like, oh shit, y'all fucked up. Like y'all know y'all fucked up, right? They messed with the the wrong motherfucker in this game, but yeah, and then he got ejected. I did not think Jimmy was getting ejected, but he got ejected. He ended up getting ejected,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I think
And
he got
then
ejected. My fault, Joe. I think he got
yeah,
ejected because like initially he like put his hands on the Marshall dude. Like he kind of like approached him first. That's at least what I saw in the replay. So that's my only like the only thing that makes sense as to why he would have gotten ejected as well.
yeah, and then the thing with Thomas Bryant and Jose Alvarado happened on like the bench, not the bench, the
The score,
like
like
the
the scores
scores
table.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and then I'm like, okay, I like the energy that they're bringing. Like that's something that the team needed
Hmm.
because after the Duncan thing happened against the Celtics with
Hmm.
Jalen Brown, like a whole lot of people were talking about like, oh, like they need somebody to be that enforcer and
Hmm.
this and that. And then I guess in a way, Jimmy and Thomas Bryant took it upon themselves at that moment to
Yep.
become those enforcers. And man, when Jimmy got ejected, Bam just took over.
Yep.
Once he took over, that was fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think that's kind of like the frustrating thing. I know I've brought this up way too many times, like on this podcast, but that's the thing that's so frustrating because it's like with Bam, he can do that like all the time, and I get it. Like Bam is literally like Mister Do Everything. Like he's expected to do every single thing on the court, like play elite defense and score the basket. So I'm not holding that against him, but it is just nice to see Bam like, nah, give me the ball and I'm gonna put the ball in the basket. I'm gonna hit you with my mid ranges. I'm getting to the rim. I'm dunking everything. So it's always good to see when he reaches that mode, like when Bam gets into that area. And then because remember last season after All Star break. that's when Bam started like falling off for some reason until the playoffs started, where he kind of picked it back up. So it'd be nice to see, like, first of all, it'd be nice to see us not in the play-in again um,
Yeah.
this season. I don't want to go through that frustration again watching those games. Um, and I mean, and kind of speaking of that, like just getting into that portion. During the All Star break, we signed Delon Wright, who's the younger brother of Darrell Wright, former Miami Heat player. I think he, I think he got a championship too. I think he got a championship in the '06 championship. Pretty sure he got a ring
Yeah.
with the Heat.
Yeah.
But he, they Washington bought him out, and he immediately signed with the Heat. Like I don't even think the buyout was official yet, and bro was already on the team. I'm like, dang, okay. Hopefully there's no tampering involved. But what'd you think of that pickup? Like, what do you know of his game?
I mean, from what I know that he led the league in steals like a year or two ago.
Hmm.
Um, and so I know like the defense is there. So it's good to have another point of attack defender, like
Yeah.
having that in the backcourt
Hmm.
with Tyler or with Rozier, or having even like um Delon Wright and Jay Ridge even at
Right.
the same time. Like have that the deathlock lineup,
Yeah. Facts.
something like that.
Right.
Like but yeah, like having that there is a plus. I mean he could hit the three too. I think if I remember correctly, I saw that he was shooting like 37 or like 38% from the 3-point
Hmm.
line. So he could hit threes.
Right.
I don't know anything else about his game. I don't know if he could like if he's good at creating his own shot, or how good his playmaking is and
Right.
stuff like that. I haven't really looked into that, but all I know is he got defense, and that's a plus for me
Yeah, facts.
always.
That's facts, especially for like the guards that we would kind of have to go up against in the West. Your Tyrese Maxey. I mean, I'm sorry, in the East, your Tyrese Maxey's, your Drew Holidays when he's looking to score. Your Dame Lillard's, Jalen Brunson, because Jalen Brunson had us in hell last year in the in the in
Yeah,
the playoffs. He was cooking, but
yeah, it was crazy.
yeah, so just having a point guard that, and I mean Terry Rozier is not really that guy. Like Terry Rozier is more of the like, oh, I'm gonna get buckets. Like that's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be my focus. And he can guard because he's tall and like he has the wingspan and everything. But he's not like, his focus isn't to come on the court and like lock you up. From what I've seen,
Yeah,
DeLon Wright, his focus is to come in the game and like lock you up. Like that's the whole thing. I saw a clip of him where he was saying that when he was in Atlanta and we played Atlanta in the playoffs a couple of years ago, like they put him in the game to lock up Tyler Hero. Like that was his job, to guard Tyler Hero. Um, so I'm interested in seeing where he fits in, because he didn't play in the Pelicans game. So I'm interested to see, and I mean it's kind of weird too that he didn't play in that game because Rozier and Richardson are hurt. So I thought he would have like gotten some type of burn with them being out, and then when they come back, I don't know what kind of burn he's gonna get. But depending on what Tyler's injury looks like, he might have to be
yeah,
inserted. Him and Duncan will probably be inserted into that lineup. So just looking forward to seeing exactly what he brings to the table and what he brings to the team, how he can help. But and speaking of moving forward, so we're in February. The season will be ending in about 2 months. So um, what are like maybe two or three things that you would like to see going forward that you think would allow us to have a successful like rest of the regular season? Now I'm the playoffs. I'm not too concerned about, because I know like what we do in the playoffs, but it's these regular season games that can get us in a messed up situation once the playoffs start. So it's like two or three things that you're looking forward to, or you want to see, or you don't want to see.
yeah. Like I know it's not in their control, but like I don't know what it. I don't know if the team is cursed or something, but like I don't. I would like to see better health, like
Health,
better health,
yeah,
like overall. Yeah, like Yeah, we've lost Terry, we've lost Jay Ridge,
Mm-hmm.
and now we lost Tyler. We don't even know for how long.
Yep.
And there were like a couple of times in that Pelicans game where I'm like, oh, like I thought Jimmy was hurt at some point, like
Mm-hmm.
because the hits he was taking, he wasn't getting foul calls. I'm like, yo, like they gonna kill my boy on the court, like what's going on? But nah, like health is should be a priority, even though it's not in their control. There's nothing you can do about that. But
Right.
um, what else? They need to keep that consistency on defense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I always say, like Miami's a team where they don't have like scores where they could
Nope.
come in and give you 30 or 40 a game or whatever.
Nope.
But like the defense, if when that defense is consistent, not many teams are
Yep.
going to be able to beat them. And then if they're hitting shots at a decent rate, they can still keep up just because their defense,
Yep.
protects them from getting blown out. Uh, and then Jimmy is looking like he's getting to that postseason mode. So
Yep. Jim VP.
uh, yeah, if he didn't get ejected, I think he was going for 30. I'm not gonna lie, because he
Mm-hmm.
started the game very good. Like
Yep.
he was cooking early. So
Nah,
even
facts.
though even though they missed mad free throws,
Yeah, like
but
I saw that too, and I'm like, dang, like if we lose this game, it'll be because of free throws. Like that would be the reason, that we're not winning. And I don't know why we have games like that, because we'll have games where we'll go like 21 for like 23 on free throws, and then games where we go like 9 for 17. It's like, bro, what is happening here? Um, but yeah, no, I completely agree with everything that you said. Um, I just want to see the mainly like the intensity. Like I want to see them play like they're trying to win. All of that stuff they were doing in the beginning of the season, that's not what I want to see. Like I don't want to see doing all of that craziness and like moping around and looking all sad and everything like that. Like I want to see this team play like we know they can play. I think they're top 5 like in the last month in defense, in defensive efficiency. So that's something that that I like to see. And like you've been saying, that's their identity. When they play defense, the offense comes. Like the offense will be there. Um, my boy Duncan Robinson, like I just want to continue to see him do his thing. Like I just want to continue to see him because he's doing everything at this point. Like he had a block on Zion. Like
yeah,
he's doing everything at this point. Like you can literally ask nothing more of Duncan Robinson at this point because he's hitting his shots, which is what got him paid. So he's hitting his shots. He's driving to the rim. He's dunking. Yeah, dunk tonight. He's playing good enough defense to be able to stay on the court in important moments. And now with Tyler being out, he's gonna slide back into that role that he slid into when Tyler went down with his ankle injury. So
hmm
I'm just ready to see him continue doing what he's doing. Jimmy, yeah, Jimmy's playing hard. Like you said it. You said that Jimmy. There was a lot of times where he was getting hit and ones getting foul calls, but that's because he was playing hard. Like he was getting to the basket, hitting people, like scoring his shots, and last but not least, like Bam, just continue doing what he's doing. Um, I'm at the point now where like I would like Bam to just continue to score like a solid 20, but if he's just gonna continue to give elite defense and and everything like that, I'm cool. Like I'm cool with that. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed the Pelicans game. Our next 2 games we got Sacramento and Portland. That Portland game,
that's a mandatory win. There's no
they
way we
have
could
to
lose
win
that.
that game. They have to win that game. They have to. Cause that's Tuesday. And yeah, we probably record that day. Oh yeah, they better win that game. I'm gonna say some real
Yeah,
not nice things on here.
I don't care if like 60% of the roster is that should be a blowout.
Yeah, fact. And on top of that, that game was supposed to be on national TV. They took the game off of national TV because the
Yeah,
NBA was expecting Dame to either be in Portland or to be with us. So yeah, that
it's
that
crazy.
yeah, that is a must win. So hopefully by the time we come back to y'all next week, we're on a 5 game win streak. I think that'll be great for the team. We're only like I think 6.5 games out of like third place or something like that, so we can definitely rack up some wins. Philly, I don't know when Joel Embiid is coming back, and they haven't been playing great. So we could easily just keep up. In Milwaukee is not playing great. I mean, the only teams that are consistently playing great are the Knicks and Boston. That's it.
Yeah.
So I feel
I
like we
mean,
can be
like,
top three with them.
yeah, and like you said, Embiid is gonna be out for a long time.
Hmm.
Pacers are like iffy.
Yeah.
They're like here and there with it. Um, so I feel like the team could definitely get to that sixth spot.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say like going back to the Duncan Robinson point, like
Hmm.
ever since that altercation with Jalen Brown where he like pulled his shoulder
Yep.
almost off his arm socket. Like he must have put the arm back in the socket because Duncan
Facts.
been shooting that motherfucker. Like it's crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, Duncan. I feel like look, I like Tyler, but I feel like when Duncan fills that shooting guard role
Hmm.
at the starting position, it's like a different atmosphere in a way.
Yep.
Like you have to stay on Duncan
Yep.
because his shot is so quick. Like he's gonna get that off. Like if he has little to no space,
100%.
and now he's driving to the basket. So if you either pick up lazily,
Yep.
a lazy pickup, he's gonna blow by you, and then it's either gonna be lob to Bam or a layup for him.
Yep.
Um. So and then Jimmy, when it's Jimmy on the court, he's gonna be drawing defenders towards him because
Hmm.
he's drawing fouls. So if you sag off Duncan, Jimmy's gonna find him, and
Yep.
that's a guaranteed, almost guaranteed three.
Yep.
So yeah, man, Duncan has been hooping. So shout out to Duncan.
Facts. Happy birthday,
Shout
Duncan.
out.
Duncan Robinson. My boy cooking. But yeah, so like I said, I'm looking forward to these next 2 games next week. Sacramento is a good team. Obviously, you got the Bam and Sabonis matchup. That should be fun. That's always a
Mhm.
fun matchup. And then that Portland game, that's also going to be a fun matchup.
Gotta
Um,
win that one.
it oh
Got
my god, yeah, I it's to the point I don't even know who play on Portland. Like I know they got Jeremy Grant, I know Scoot Henderson is there, obviously, but and Malcolm Brogdon, but I don't even know if he's like healthy or not. But yeah, I'm ready to see that. Oh no, yeah, before we leave too, right? And I texted you this like a few weeks ago, and I fully blame you. Shout out to my boy Hassan Whiteside, my boy, my boy retired.
Oh
My
my
boy
god,
retired. He saw the episodes. He saw Gary wasn't supporting his comeback. So my boy's like, nah, I'm out of here.
Hassan is getting cooked in today's NBA if he come back. Oh
Nah,
god.
no, he not. You seen when Wimbayama was when he got that triple double with blocks, Hassan started trending because they know what's up. They know what's up. Nobody else
Nah,
was doing it with blocks except my boy Hassan. Nobody was
nah.
doing it. He wasn't doing it with blocks.
I feel like after the first year he was doing that, the league figured him out, and it was over after that. It was over.
Nah, but yeah, shout out to Hassan Whiteside, my boy, retired from basketball. I knew he wasn't coming back, but one can hope. One can hope, but but nah, that's trash. I mean, but his story was a good one. He bounced around the league for a while, got his contract with Miami. I think he got like another contract, nothing crazy, like after Miami. So I mean, I'm pretty sure he's set for the rest of his life. So shout out to Hassan Whiteside. You always got a supporter in me. Even if you're not gonna be playing basketball no more, you always got a supporter in me. Uh,
Not for me. Not for me.
all right, but yeah, you got any last thoughts before we wrap this up?
Last thoughts. Damn, I did have something in my brain, but it slipped. But nah, they just got. Oh, I remember now. So yeah, I saw something. It was like Miami has like the easiest or like
Oh, remaining
top
schedule.
5 easiest
Hmm.
schedules. Yeah,
I saw
remaining
that too.
schedules.
Yep.
So I I hope they don't throw and actually win like
Yeah,
at least like 60% of those games,
that
like
would be
50
perfect.
to 60% of those games. I wouldn't
Hmm.
even be mad with that.
Facts.
Um, and yeah, health, man. They need to stay healthy. All these injuries is crazy, buddy.
Yeah. Nah, I listen. I completely agree with you. Completely agree. And I
Have
mean,
no luck.
I don't have nothing else to say after that. Yeah, win games. Like it's real simple. Like I get paid to play basketball. Win games. Like that's all we ask for. But yeah, so thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank y'all for obviously, like you said last week, we had the week off for All Star break, but we back now. Weekly episodes coming out. So thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Click the little bell for the notifications so y'all know when we upload. But we appreciate y'all. We'll holla at y'all next week. Peace.
So, peace.